Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another podcast. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, we're going to discuss a topic that can completely transform a person's life: how to build good habits.
That's a fantastic topic. In fact, I believe that habits are one of the most important factors in determining whether a person succeeds or fails in life.
Really? More important than intelligence, talent, or luck?
In many cases, yes, think about it. We often admire successful people and assume they were born different. We think they have special talents, extraordinary intelligence, or opportunities that most people don't have.
That's true. I've often looked at successful people and thought, maybe they just have something that I don't.
And that's exactly what many people believe. But when you study successful individuals closely, you discover something interesting. Most of them have built strong daily habits. They don't rely on motivation every day, they rely on routines and consistency.
That's an interesting point. I think many people, including me, focus too much on motivation. We wait until we feel inspired before we take action.
And that's one of the biggest mistakes people make. Motivation is temporary. Some days you'll feel energetic and excited, other days you'll feel tired and unmotivated. If your success depends entirely on motivation, you'll struggle to stay consistent.
I can definitely relate to that. There have been many times when I decided to change my life. I created schedules, made plans, and promised myself that this time would be different.
And what happened?
Usually, I followed the plan for a few days, sometimes even a week, but eventually I lost interest and went back to my old routine.
So you're saying that building good habits is actually a skill?
Absolutely, it's a skill that anyone can learn. The good news is that you don't need to be perfect. You don't need extraordinary discipline. You just need to understand a few simple principles and apply them consistently.
That sounds encouraging because many people feel overwhelmed when they think about changing their lives.
That's true. People often think they need to make huge changes overnight. They decide they'll wake up at 5 in the morning, exercise for an hour, read 50 pages a day, learn a new language, and completely transform themselves in a week.
And then they burn out.
Exactly. Real change usually starts much smaller than people expect. Small actions repeated every day can create remarkable results over time.
I love that idea because it makes improvement feel achievable. Instead of trying to become a completely different person tomorrow, you can focus on becoming slightly better each day.
That's the key. Good habits aren't about perfection, they're about progress. Every small positive action is a step in the right direction.
So, in today's podcast, we're going to explore why good habits matter, why people struggle to maintain them, and what practical strategies can help anyone build habits that last.
Whether you want to improve your English, become healthier, be more productive, or simply make better use of your time, this conversation is for you.
So, grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and join us as we discuss one of the most powerful tools for personal growth: good habits.
Let's get started.
Maria, earlier you mentioned that most people fail to build good habits because they don't understand how habits work. Can you explain that a little more?
Of course, Alex. I think one of the biggest reasons people fail is that they expect immediate results.
What do you mean by immediate results?
Let's say someone starts exercising. They go to the gym for 3 days and then stand in front of the mirror expecting a huge change. When they don't see one, they become disappointed.
Huh, that's true. Many people want results very quickly.
Exactly. The same thing happens when people try to learn English. They study for a week and expect to speak fluently. When that doesn't happen, they think they're not good enough and quit.
I've seen that happen a lot. Some people get excited in the beginning, but after a few days, they lose confidence.
And confidence is often connected to results. When people don't see progress immediately, they assume their efforts are useless.
But the progress usually takes time, right?
Absolutely, Alex. Think about planting a tree. You don't plant a seed today and expect a giant tree tomorrow. Growth happens slowly, but it happens every day.
That's a great example. The problem is that people notice the waiting, but they don't notice the growth.
Exactly. Another reason people fail is that they try to change too many things at once.
I think I've done that before.
Most of us have. Imagine someone decides to wake up at 5 in the morning, exercise every day, stop eating junk food, read a book every night, learn a language, and meditate all at the same time.
That sounds ambitious.
It sounds ambitious, but it's usually unrealistic. After a few days, the person feels exhausted because they're trying to fight too many battles at once.
So, what should people do instead?
Focus on one habit first. Build one strong habit before adding another. Small victories create momentum.
That's interesting because many people think bigger goals produce bigger results.
Not necessarily. Consistency produces results. A person who studies English for 20 minutes every day for a year will usually achieve more than someone who studies for 5 hours once a month.
I like that idea. Small actions seem insignificant, but they add up over time.
Exactly, Alex. Another common mistake is relying too much on motivation.
We've talked about motivation before, but I think many people still believe it's the secret to success.
Motivation is helpful, but it's unreliable. Some mornings you'll wake up feeling energetic, other mornings you'll feel tired and distracted.
And that's definitely true.
If you only work when you feel motivated, you'll be inconsistent. Successful people often take action even when they don't feel like it.
So, discipline is more important than motivation?
In the long run, yes, motivation helps you start, discipline helps you continue.
That's a powerful statement.
Another reason people fail is that they allow one bad day to destroy their progress.
What do you mean, Maria?
Let's say someone has been exercising for 2 weeks, then one day they miss a workout. Instead of continuing the next day, they tell themselves they failed and give up completely.
I've seen people do that with diets too.
Exactly. They make one mistake and assume everything is ruined. But one mistake doesn't destroy a habit, quitting does.
That's a great point.
Nobody is perfect. Everyone has bad days. The goal isn't perfection, the goal is to keep going.
So, if someone wants to build good habits, they should be patient, focus on one habit at a time, rely less on motivation, and not give up after small mistakes.
Exactly. Building good habits isn't about being perfect, it's about showing up consistently and trusting the process.
I think that's a lesson everyone needs to hear.
I completely agree.
Maria, there's something I still find difficult to understand. How can small habits create big results? Sometimes the actions seem so tiny that they almost feel meaningless.
That's a great question, Alex. Many people underestimate the power of small habits because they focus only on immediate results.
Can you give me an example?
Sure, imagine two people. One person decides to read 10 pages of a book every day. The other person says, 10 pages isn't enough. I'll read 100 pages a day. The second person might read 100 pages for 2 or 3 days and then quit. The first person, however, keeps reading 10 pages every day for an entire year.
So the person with the smaller habit actually ends up reading more books.
Exactly. Small habits are easier to maintain, and consistency is what creates long term success.
I think many people make the mistake of chasing dramatic changes.
That's true. People love dramatic transformations. They want to lose weight quickly, become fluent in English in a month, or completely change their lives overnight.
Social media probably contributes to that mindset.
Absolutely. On social media, we often see the final result, but not the years of effort behind it. We see a successful person and assume success happened quickly.
But in reality, success is usually built day by day.
Exactly. Think about learning English. If you learn just 5 new words every day, it doesn't seem impressive.
5 words sounds very small.
It does. But after 1 month, you've learned around 150 words. After a year, you've learned more than 1800 words.
When you look at it that way, it's actually quite impressive.
That's the magic of small habits. Their power becomes visible only after enough time has passed.
I think another reason people ignore small habits is because they don't feel productive.
That's true. People often confuse being busy with being productive.
What's the difference?
Being busy means doing a lot of things. Being productive means doing the right things consistently. A person who studies English for 20 focused minutes every day is often more productive than someone who studies for 3 hours once every 2 weeks.
That's interesting because many people judge their progress based on how much they do in one day.
And that's important because perfection is one of the biggest enemies of progress.
How so?
Many people think, if I can't do it perfectly, I won't do it at all. They miss one workout and stop exercising. They miss one study session and stop learning.
That's a great analogy.
Thank you. Another thing people should remember is that small habits build confidence.
How does that happen?
Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you strengthen your self belief. If you decide to practice English for 10 minutes and actually do it, you're teaching yourself that you're reliable.
So the habit is improving not only the skill, but also the person's confidence.
Exactly. That's why small habits are so powerful. They improve your skills, your discipline, your confidence, and eventually your results. And that's it for today's session. We shall meet in next session. Goodbye, Alex.
Goodbye, Maria.